I had to explain.
If you need convincing, if you need instructions or history, it's out there. Google is a wonderful thing. We've been told over and over again what the truth is, and it has taken Nazis on our soil murdering us to try and start white supremacy is our prize.
You're taking third culture as a race. Let me ask you. Do you not think you ought to be oppressed?
Why can't they figure out how to do
Everybody is you're paying taxes. Right now you're paying 13% taxes. 17% taxes. You're also paying federal income tax. Everybody. When Americans nobody pays taxes for World War II. The reason tax was 8% was because we had to fight the Nazis in Germany. We also had to fight tyranny in Japan, right? It was supposed to go back down completely. That's why I want to do.
all of us together.
I remember when Vietnam happened. Black soldiers came there and they were saying that. See, that's still
If you're here for the rally, if you'll move back towards the stage, it's not where we want to move about. If you're here for the rally, move back towards the stage. We don't want to make this the focus of the event. If you're here for the rally, just letting people know that people would
Making some really good points right now. I'm loving this.
This is how you deal with it.
So Ash is saying, hey y'all, will y'all do me a will y'all ignore those other people and just stay focused on this good work y'all are getting on this stage from these beautiful ass people? Can we do that?
So you don't think that black people
So I know there's some people in the center field that want some attention, but we're not going to have it to them.
everybody's oppressed?
We're going to do what we can.
We are being killed. We are being killed in the middle of the street. Okay? Officers, you know that a majority, that statistically, FBI 2014, right? Statistically, there's a higher majority of whites kill whites. I mean, no, higher majority of whites kill by police officers. Go look it up. 2014 FBI, September 1st.
All right, I love y'all. Talk to you in a minute. Y'all give it up to Asia.
No, so why don't you see it on the news? You see on news, you see on video. Why don't you see white people being hurt by police on the news? It's a statistic put on the internet by who? Okay? But every time we are being killed in the streets, it's on the internet. So why? No, okay. So if America doesn't want to seem like, oh, we're racist, why is it that officers, you say statistically, officers kill whites too? Why do we not see that on the news? Why do we not? Hey, all right, so you agree, you know that George Soros out of 9 networks that are on children. You know George Soros grew up in all people just centralized by all this is ran by
but what about the skinhead that just killed a white person?
Amen.
Where's that at? I mean, because we want. We can't even. What about Americans without bread? We can't even show people. They're gonna snipe us. They're gonna beat us up. Because we just want liberty. You guys are promoting genocide. Not only as yes, you guys are towards African Americans and even more so towards your own people. I mean,
they're not promoting genocide.
I mean, that's what
they're not. But this is my thing. This is the problem.
I know what that flag means. That don't tread on me flag means, man. That's one of those racist.
Listen.
That is an anti-government flag. You know that? I'm just saying.
Listen.
That is an anti-government flag.
This is my problem. This is where I go.
We're trying to turn it into no fucking round and like,
with the black people.
we understand what you're saying, brother. You're right.
You're not seeing us be skinheads. You're not seeing that the United States
So that should show you right there that they don't care who gets in the way, who they kill, who they hurt. And they want to act like they put it for the people.
don't know where Grant's at.
He just blind. He just blind out of his brain.
That says no here, but we are the greatest four probabilities of the worst thing. You know, it's like, what about the terrorists in the United States who killing us? Again, they are killing people. They are killing blacks. Because we've been doing this for 9 years. They not understand. And it's a fact that you're a blind eye because you're saying that we're all being oppressed when it's not everybody being oppressed. Blacks are being oppressed. Whites are not being oppressed. You don't see whites being killed by police officers on TV. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about no statistics. I don't give a damn about no statistics. The same person who puts statistics on the goddamn internet is white. The same person. The same people who put statistics on the internet is white. So let's talk about the statistics that we see every night and day. Every night and day, let's talk about them statistics. Let's talk about the statistics that we see every night and day on camera.
Correct.
That's actually being recorded.
Right.
And we being beat and killed in front of our children.
And the same thing.
That I have to sit, when my child go older, I gotta sit and say, well, here's the thing. Baby, make sure you have your license. Make sure you have your insurance. Make sure when you get pulled over, you put your hands at the car and say, I don't have no weapon on me. When you all get pulled over, you don't have to do that. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. Okay. So this is my thing. Y'all are being blind to the fact that the United States of America, we are being oppressed, not white. Black are being oppressed, and it's not going to change if whites continue to say, "Oh, I don't see that." We're all being oppressed. We love each other, everybody.
But then that's
see the fact.
Okay,
see the fact that all black and then stand up.
Is ignoring one race that's
ignoring what race? How are we ignoring?
No, let me finish. I'll let you finish. All right. Ignoring one race, right? Saying, all right, well, white people, all right, we don't see it on TV, we don't see it over here. Is that not just as racist as saying, all right, well, you know, we need to focus on black people, not white people that are dying to the police. We need to focus on only black. Is that not racist?
You want to know what that's not put on? You want to know something that they don't put on TV? What? You want to know something that they don't be put on TV? How skinheads and the KKK are also killing white officers. They don't put that on the news though. They don't put that on the news.
You think we support them? You think?
But they don't. What I'm saying is they don't put that on the news.
We're civic nationalists.
So we're not going to speak on statistics because again, the same people that put the statistics on the internet are white.
Correct.
So they're not going to put it on.
Actually, no. I'll take that back. They are not white. You just had a black president that ran the DOJ, the DHS, the FBI.
Who Barack Obama?
In fact,
who the government trying to shut down on him? That's the same president that the government trying to shut down on him because he wants to change things.
Who was the DOJ under Obama?
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you something in front of the police and everybody else. I don't give a fuck about the government.
Okay.
Because the government are the same. The government are the same ones who slaved us.
What do you think about
the government? Are the same ones today.
Do you understand that?
Who are putting us in jail?
Do you understand that the Republicans
don't even give us a chance?
Less government.
I done been to jail. I done been to the county. I done went down to court. Hold on, let me talk. I done been to court.
Okay.
I done been down to court. I done seen a black man, a white man go to court for the same exact crime.
And a white man come down there and say, oh, I got 1129, I get out today. And a black man come down and say, I got 3 years.
Do you think we're against?
3 years.
Do you think we're against?
3 years.
Hold on, let me
3 years.
finish. Do you think that we're against reformation of the police? Do you think that civic nationalists?
You may not be against it, but like I just said, my thing is you all are still putting a blind eye to us. Yes, because you still saying that we're all being oppressed. We're being oppressed. Y'all not being oppressed.
Let me ask you something. Why out of, if we go overseas right now, why is
we're not talking about overseas, we're talking about here in America. We don't give a damn about North Korea talking about they want to go to war with us. We don't care. We don't care about that. We going to war right here in the United States of America. And what's so crazy is we can't even come up and speak and fight back because we're going to be labeled terrorists when we're being killed.
Why is it soldiers
when we being killed? And then they say, oh, well, black on black crime, black on black this and this and that. Y'all did this to us. Y'all put us in inner cities, which y'all say inner cities to make it intelligent. Y'all try to make it seem intelligent, but it's not no inner city. Let's call it what y'all really call it, the project.
I cannot.
Let's really call it what y'all really call it, the project. Y'all call it the project.
You keep over talking and raising your voice.
You see what I'm saying? No, they didn't. No, they didn't because it started as a project. It started as a project. It started with rats. You put rats all in the same box together. What they do? They fight. They eat each other. And that's what y'all did to us.
What do you think the welfare system does?
The welfare system, it makes us lazy. And that's all part of the plan. It was all part of the plan. It was all part of the plan, though.
All right.
It was all part of the plan.
Republicans want the welfare system gone. Nobody hears the fascists. Nobody hears the fascists. We're Americans.
It was all part of the plan, though.
And we agree. That, you know that yellow flag that you just seen? We're against big government. We don't want big government. You know what big government is? Tyranny.
Bones is trying to kiss this guy.
Who? Anyways, we're not. Do you think I'm a terrorist?
I don't think you a terrorist, but like I just said, though, man, y'all turn a blind eye to the thing that's really y'all.
We believe in police reformation.
Y'all, we talking about oppression.
To be honest, we need to go back to where people, the
go
police
back
are
to.
too
Hold on,
militarized.
you saying let's go back to something. Let's go back. What can blacks go back to?
No, I'm talking about.
Hold on, I'm asking the
police.
question though. What can blacks go back to? Because since the history started of America, since we've been here in America, what has happened to us?
Let's live in the present.
What's going on in the present? What's going on in the present? What's going on in the present? What's going on in the present?
Can I speak? All right, police need to go back to being a civil patrol. They don't need to be militarized. They don't need flag jackets. I agree that some instances they do. Wherever they're patrolling, if it's a high crime area, yes, they need to be wearing flag jackets. If it's not a high crime area, they need to be walking around and getting to know the people that are in that area. Why? Because that's how you build, that's how you build a relationship.
To make sure we in control.
All right, so you agree that welfare is nothing but laziness and it keeps people in poverty, right?
This ain't about welfare. This ain't about welfare.
You're looking at more. Okay, we're the majority, right? So of course we're going to be more, but percentage-wise, no. It's not the truth. It's not the truth.
And it's all part of it.
And it is, and I agree. It is all part of
Come on, we get in front of you, sir. I'm sorry.
Yes, I can agree that there is no right to federal. Local, state, you got states' right. The 10th Amendment guarantees the states have the right to make whatever law that they want that opposes the federal government. Then it's got to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has to override the states. At that point, the states. This is civics. Hey y'all, I'm going home. Y'all
Yeah, we don't want to hear
I'm just trying to hold a conversation with you.
It's fucking me up because I'm 20. Like my wife said, I remember we used to be in school and a teacher would put in a tape of what was going on back in the 60s
representing slavery, and it's going on today. It's going on right now. It's not got nothing to do with identity.
After the Republicans passed the Civil Rights Act,
it has nothing to do with identity politics. It has nothing to do with identity politics.
Morgan Freeman was quoted saying, the more you talk about race, the more...
I guarantee you, I'm like this, I'm guarantee you, a white man walking the projects right now, we gonna be like, what's up, homie, what you looking for? But I guarantee you, I walk right now with all black on, my dreads, or whatever, hoodie on, everything, I walk into an all white neighborhood, I guarantee the police gonna be called. I guarantee the police gonna be called. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. So let's stop talking about identity and politics, let's talk about the truth. The truth is, blacks are hated in America. We are hated in America. And I want to know why. Why are we hated?
You talking about a white man walking this whole road? Alright, I've done it. White shirt, khaki pants. I walked straight through the project. Nobody said nothing to me.
They probably want to serve. They probably want to say, hey man, what's going on? You looking for some bud? Come get in the car. But they ain't gonna kill you. They ain't gonna shoot you. And they damn sure not gonna call the police on you. They damn sure ain't gonna call the police on you.
Hold on, did you not just say a white man walked
They not gonna call the police on you though. Ain't nothing gonna happen to you though. You gonna be straight. I guarantee you, you come to my hood right now, somebody gonna pull over and they gonna say, man, what you need? Over there in Brano, Kemp Drive, Cameron, come on through that. And they ain't gonna do nothing to you. They not gonna do nothing to you. They ain't gonna kill you. They ain't gonna kill you. But let me walk.
been stopped.
Where? But I never heard of a white man being stopped in the Chattanooga, Tennessee project. Has anybody else?
When Bowling Heights was up?
I haven't. I haven't.
I'm not gonna lie.
I used to walk through there all the time. All the time.
Because some of them prototype them too.
They
Like
act
they
like
looking
that.
for drugs. They
They
might
act like
stay
black
out there.
folks. I mean, if
You
they act like
never
black
know.
folks, they gonna get you.
Here's
You know
what
what
I'm trying to
saying?
say. I think that the fastest way to healing this nation right now is if we continue on this divide.
So you ought to stop turning a blind eye.
No, listen. Let me
So
talk.
you ought to stop
Let
turning a blind
me
eye.
talk. All right, let me talk. All right, I think the fastest way we can heal this nation is we need to take big government out. Period. Right? More government equals more suppression, more tyranny. Get people off welfare. First off, you don't want laziness.
That's a dream. How can you take the government? How can you take the government out when the government?
I didn't say anything about race. I said get people off welfare.
Welfare is gonna be needed.
Welfare. There's long-term people sitting on welfare right now, sucking people dry.
Welfare is needed on both ends.
White people too. It's white people.
There's white people, and they're sitting on welfare all their life, right? It's making people lazy because. I'm saying lower the government, give the states more control. The states know their people better than the federal government, right? The states know, they're looking at crime levels, they're looking at poverty levels. The states know more than the federal. The federal has to look at a big thing, right? They have to decide.
Did you know that the federal government? Did you know I'm federal? I've been to the federal penitentiary, okay, USP. Did you know that right now North Korea was to send some parachutes over here? North Korea start coming down and want to kill everybody and go to war. You know I'll be labeled a terrorist. This guy went to the federal penitentiary.
What the hell is the penitentiary?
You know that veterans are labeled terrorists as soon as they come out? Military veterans are labeled terrorists as soon as we come out. We are labeled by the Department of Homeland Security.
Goddamn homeless
And I guarantee you, people will ask you to come fight.
You damn
With
right.
me, they'll shoot
And
me
guess
in the
what?
street.
No.
Yes.
I can guarantee you, they're going to call on every American at that point in time. Why do you think
We're
the
not
Second
American.
Amendment?
We're not American.
You are
to them.
American.
We're not American to them.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not American to them. If we was American, we wouldn't be killed in these streets.
What do you think?
We wouldn't be getting called.
They're Americans to you.
They're Americans to me. We're civic
Okay, all
nationals.
right, so what is the solution out of this conversation? Because we have to,
I already said what the solution was.
Hold on.
I ain't got to talk yet.
Well, it's all right. I'm just interjecting.
I took care of my mom for 8
This is an open
years.
conversation.
I come up here. I had a campsite out Harrison Bay Park. I went up here to the goddamn homeless shelter. Some motherfuckers took me in. They wanted to help me get my shit. They helped me all right. They took everything I had. Everything I had. I'm taking care of my mom for 8 years. All the motherfuckers get on their mind is taking them out of the pocket. That's what I got to say.
I got a question for you.
That's all they do is take a motherfucker.
There's no point. Wait,
A man that took care of his mom for 8 years and going to take him for everything he's got. I'm homeless. Tell me, I know what's going on. Homeless, handling motherfuckers out here.
Out of that, in Chattanooga, who would you say is the main person everybody goes to?
What you mean by go?
Hold on. Well, all right, just like with every city has a mayor, has a council, has a judge. All right, each ethnic group has a mayor, has a council. Correct? Wouldn't you agree to that? All right. I don't know who it would be for Caucasian. But who would you say it would be for y'all?
What you mean, to come to us?
Yeah. But who's out of the black community? What I'm getting at is, out of the black community, who is the main person that y'all go to?
That we go to?
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't go to a motherfucking bar. I don't go to nobody. Because y'all ain't gonna do shit.
No. I've got a theory. I've got a theory. Just hear me out.
I don't go to nobody. Me personally.
Out of each ethnic group, just like with politics,
Why?
you have a leader.
Why are you taxing health care?
All
Why
right.
do you have to pay
Caucasian,
a tax for health
black,
care?
whatever you are. Everybody has a leader out of each group. Coming to a...
Let me say this. I'm gonna walk away.
Hold on.
Let me say this. I'm gonna walk away to all my brothers and my sisters. These rallies, these protests, this shit gotta stop. It ain't solving shit. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna solve it. We need to start policing our own communities. We need to start killing each other. We need to start taking care of our women. All right, and our kids. Stop being some lame ass fathers. Take care of your goddamn child. Take care of your woman, man. Police our own communities, because the police ain't gonna do shit for us. They gonna lock us up and throw away the key. We ain't gonna do that to each other. So let police our own community take care of our own, man. And that's it, man. Let's stop this game banging shit. Let's stop killing each other, man. Hold on. And let's stop running to the goddamn council, the government for fucking help. Let's stop doing it for help. We don't need no help. We got each other. We got each other. Black got black. We don't need no government. We don't need no food. We don't need no welfare. We don't need none of that shit. We got ourselves. Let's government ourselves. Fuck the government. Let's government ourselves.
That is one less drug dealer in your area.
What they're saying.
Can I get you for a couple comments, man?
Yeah, sure.
What's your name, man?
Robert.
Robert, I'm James. Not burning up with that?
I was in Charlottesville last week. It was a lot hotter there. We got a lot to cry.
A little bit. All right. Let me get you started. Just saying spell your first and last name for us.
Robert Fletcher. It's ROBERTFLETCHER.
Are you from around here? Or?
East Ridge.
East Ridge.
Sir.
Why are you here tonight?
We try and help bring everybody together as one. Not a left, not a right, but one.
How did that conversation just start up?
We were actually approached by a gentleman. I don't even know his name or who he is, but we was approached by a gentleman who actually walked up to us and asked us why we were here. And we basically told him that we were here to not oppose the left, not oppose the right, but to bring, or attempt to bring, everybody in the community together as one, and quit fighting, quit killing, quit doing everything that we're doing, but to bring everybody together as one, to bring an end to all this nonsense.
What are your beliefs? What are your thoughts? I mean, when you're talking about, you said you were in Charlottesville. What were you doing in Charlottesville?
To basically stand up for what I believe in, to attempt, as I just said, to go there and attempt to try and bring everybody together one, and it didn't end that way.
Well, how were you doing that?
In Charlottesville, the group that I was with, we were actually in front against the anti-fascists, the Black Lives Matter, the Black Panthers, the LGBT. We were not trying to fight them. We were there to talk to them, to try and find a compromise, as we were doing here tonight.
You have a group you identify with?
Yes, sir.
Who would that be?
It's TAK. It's Tennessee Alternate Nights.
Well, what are alternate nights?
It's, as I've said, here, we were about peace, civic nationalists. We were trying, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, we were trying to bring everybody together as one. The fighting, the killing, it's all got to stop, and it stops with us.
You're saying it stops with you?
Yes.
You as a group, or you as?
No, as a whole. Not a left, not a right, but as a whole.
You said that you, in Charlottesville, you stood on the other side of Black Lives Matter, LGBT.
No. I'm not. You should be smacked, sir. No, I stood in between the Black Lives Matter, the LGBT, the Black Panthers, the anti-fascists, the white supremacists. I stood in between the two, not with them, but in between, to try and find a compromise, a solution to end the violence, to end everything. And it did not end that way.
I've heard the phrase alt nights before, and a lot of people have heard the phrase alt nights before, and it usually doesn't come with that kind of connotation.
No, sir.
Usually,
yes, I know. It throws you for a loop.
Yeah, it often comes associated with racism.
But I'm not racist.
So tell me why you identify with a group that often is associated with racism.
But we're not.
Okay. Specifically in Charlottesville, what were you doing? Any protests or rallies that you participated in?
I was there, if violence was to ensue, to mediate.
Violence did ensue?
Violence did ensue.
Did you try to mediate?
We did.
How
Did
so?
we succeed? No, we did not.
How so?
When violence ensued, we tried pushing back, trying to separate both sides of the field. Nobody was right in that situation, and nobody's going to be right. Do I stand for white nationalists? No, I do not. Do I stand for neo-Nazis? No, sir, I do not. Because that is not what this country is founded on.
Why do you say you stand between groups like LGBT, Black Lives Matter, and white supremacists?
Because I feel like my voice is the only one that's going to be heard.
But why?
My opinion, between the two, mine is the only one that's going to be heard.
Why is that?
One group saying this, one group saying the other. I'm in between. I agree with neither. I oppose both.
What is it that you oppose about each side?
The hatred, the killing, the discomfort from both sides.
Have we seen killing from LGBT communities?
You just saw it last week.
Explain. I don't think I'm familiar.
You work for a news station, correct?
I do, sir.
Okay. So it is your job to keep up with day-to-day news, correct?
Sure.
Okay. So if it is your job to keep up with the news, national news as well, you would understand.
Well, I'm just it could be something that may have slipped my mind or just slipped my timeline, but I'm just asking you what specific story you're referring to.
Last week in Charlottesville, the gentleman that drove through the crowd.
Correct.
We're killing that is the prime example of we're killing each other.
But my question was, where have you seen violence come from LGBT communities? We've seen it from Black Lives Matter. We've seen it from white supremacists and neo-Nazis.
Again, you saw it last week. I was there. I have footage on YouTube. Look up the Red Elephant. You'll find it.
You have footage of LGBT communities being violent to others.
The guy fled for his life. They were hitting his car with bats, bricks, bottles, anything they could pick up.
You're referring to the guy who
Yes,
ran
sir.
his car and killed the woman.
Yes, sir. Do I agree with what he did? No, sir, I do not. Do I agree with the acts of them beating on his car to make him fear for his life? No, sir, I do not.
A couple of these gentlemen who you all were having the conversations with, do you know why they approached you?
To try and find a compromise within our community.
But like what? Obviously there are a lot of different people here. What made you stand out to be not part of this rally? I assume you weren't part of this rally.
I'm not a part of that.
Okay.
This that took place over here is what I'm a part of.
And what was this?
Civic, as I've said before, is civic nationalists. We stand for peace. We want, as I've said before, and I'll keep saying it, we want to bring everybody together. The guy approaching us, trying to find a compromise outside of the government, to bring our community together to end every bit of this violence.
Last question I have for you. I'm sure you may have heard that there are some rumors over social media about bringing violence to this rally, which is not organized. It wasn't their intent at all.
Hold on.
Is that?
That was their intent, and I can prove it right here.
Are you going to show me a Reddit post?
Nope. It was not a Reddit post. Let's see if I have it. It may have been a Reddit post.
Because the organizers say that's not something they've posted. That didn't come from them. But nonetheless, my question was going to be, yeah, that's the Reddit post. But my question was going to be, you know, is that something you would have not supported? Is that something you would have condoned?
I can't say yes and I can't say no. If they had showed up down here with the intent to cause bodily harm, as they done last week in Charlottesville, yes, LGBT, the Black Lives Matter, the anti-fascists, they all showed up with, you know, assault rifles, pistols, shotguns, as opposed to the neo-Nazis. Yes, some of them did have automatic weapons. Did we? No.
But my question is, if someone, you know, we don't know what side they're part of, came here and said that they wanted to excite this place with violence, what would you think?
I would have done whatever I had to do for you, for your cameraman, for this gentleman standing here, and all these people here. I'd have done what I had to do to protect them and to protect the police. I come from a military family, and I will stand up for any person around me, right or wrong. If you're wrong, you know, you'll have your day in court. You know, my dad raised me on one principle and one principle only, and that's respect. If you give respect, you'll get it in return.
Actual last question for you. You said you stand for right and wrong. What would you say is right? What would you say is wrong?
What is wrong is the violence, and what is right is compromise. And that's where I stand with it.
But just so I fully understand you, you're saying Black Lives Matter groups, LGBT groups, anti-fascists are just as violent as Nazis and white supremacists?
Yes, sir.
You didn't see the Black Lives Matter where they killed the cops?
I'm just asking him his thoughts,
I'm giving you answer my question. Did they not kill cops? Was that not violent?
I have video right here. I can actually pull it up for you if you would like me to.
I'm just asking a question, man.
Because my cameraman, when we were in Charlottesville, he recorded the entire event from start to finish. The night before the rally took place in Charlottesville, the right wing had a separate parking lot than everybody else. All right. After the event, the LGBT, the Black Lives Matter, the anti-fascists, the Black Panthers found our parking lot, destroyed our cars, and the police did nothing.
Are you sure?
Surely they wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah.
That's sarcasm.
All right, man. I think I don't want to keep it for too long. I think that was it for me. Anything else you want to add or talk about?
And if we can come to a compromise within the community, keep it away from politics, come to a compromise within the community. You know, as I said to the gentleman over here earlier, you know, each ethnic group, just like politics, has a leader. Find a compromise within it, between both groups or any group. Find a compromise with everybody to end the violence, end the killing, end the drugs, end every bit of it. And that's where I stand. And if I have to be that one person within my community that has to have a sit down and talk with somebody else to find a compromise, then I'll do it.
All right. Appreciate it, sir. Thanks for taking time. Sorry to take long.
We had a PR accident the other day.